Countries around the globe are speeding up the development of vaccines to fight against the CCP virus, and the Chinese Communist Party is desperate to get a head start. However, out of the 4 Chinese companies that are approved for testing vaccines on humans, 2 once had vaccine scandals. Will Chinese vaccines ever gain the confidence of the Chinese people? The New York Times reported on May 6th that the Chinese Communist Party has made the development of vaccines as a national priority by slashing red tape and offering resources to drug companies. At the moment, 4 companies have started testing vaccine candidates on humans. Out of the 4 companies, the Wuhan Institute of Biological Products, an arm of state-run Sinopharm Group, and the Beijing Institute of Biological Products, which also belongs to Sinopharm, were once involved in vaccine scandals. The Wuhan Institute of Biological Products is an arm of state-run Sinopharm Group and was involved in a scandal in which more than 400,000 defective vaccines for diphtheria, tetanus, whooping cough, and other conditions were injected into hundreds of thousands of babies. This scandal was exposed by the former State Food and Drug Administration on November 3, 2017. In 2010, rabies vaccines from the Wuhan Institute of Biological Products were found to be defective as well. But nothing was done other than a recall of 20% of the vaccines. The Wuhan Institute of Biological Products has been sued at least twice in China by plaintiffs who have alleged that the institute's vaccines have caused abnormal reactions. According to court documents, its executives have been accused of at least 3 times of bribing officials at local centers for disease controls in various provinces to purchase their vaccines. However, it was not until 2018 when Changsheng Biological Company Limited in Changchun was involved in a fake vaccine scandal with Wuhan Institute of Biological Products that the public's attention was focused. The scandal led to the firing of dozens of officials and pledges of a swift industry cleanup. Sinovac Biotech had also been involved in a bribery scandal, according to court documents. From 2002 to 2014, a court in Beijing said the general manager of Sinovac Biotech, Yin Weidong, bribed the director of Biological Products Division of the Drug Registration Department in the state's drug administration to help the firm with drug approvals. Sinovac was not charged. This is just the tip of the iceberg of the evil Chinese vaccine industry. While the Chinese people are eager to see the success of the vaccine development, do they really have faith in these companies? Ms. Yang is one of the parents whose child is a victim of a defective vaccine, and she said,
"To us, they, the companies, have zero credibility. Think about these children. Their disability is 100%, so the credibility of the vaccine is definitely zero. In China, presently, there are no protection laws for vaccines, and the legislation on vaccines established previously was only for administrative laws, not protection for vaccine victims."
Ms. Yang's child received a vaccine for diphtheria in 2008 and later became disabled, for which she was not compensated at all. She has had a hard time fighting for human rights for many years and believes that the Chinese Communist Party has no ability to respond to natural disasters since it cannot even handle man-made disasters well.
This vaccine is a man-made disaster, which is a responsibility they, the CCP, avoided. And when a natural disaster like this coronavirus happens, they have no way to handle it. They have the habit of covering up and obliterating the truth. This is the problem of a sick system. The chain of interest among the National Health Commission of China, Chinese Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the State Council, manufacturers of vaccines, and the doctors is sick.
Chinese manufacturers of other medical supplies have already lost their credibility before Chinese pharmaceutical companies could regain the trust of the people. They exported medical supplies to the Czech Republic, Italy, the Netherlands, and other countries have been exposed as poor quality products. The medical director of an American pharmaceutical company, Zhu Wei, said,
"If the Chinese people have the chance and are able to obtain foreign vaccines, they will and are more willing to choose these vaccines made overseas. Besides, I personally do not think that the vaccines made in China will have a market on the international level after the international community experienced the poor quality of made in China in products like facial masks, ventilators, and PPE."
The New York Times reported that leaders in China want to take the lead in developing the vaccine in an attempt to deflect accusations that its silencing of early warnings contributed to the global pandemic. Developing a vaccine for the world would, in addition, burnish its standing as a global scientific and medical power. A senior official said that a vaccine for emergency use could be ready in September. Dr. Sean Lin, former lab director of the viral disease branch of Walter Reed Army Institute of Research, indicated,
If there is a political agenda and political pressure behind clinical trials, drug development, and vaccines development, then I think people need to question the trial data and results of the vaccine.
Dr. Chen Wei's academy has also received an approval for clinical trials, and her adenovirus vector vaccines have entered Phase 2 human clinical trials. In addition, Beijing Biological Preparations Institute Company Limited in China was also approved for clinical trials. Ding Sheng, the dean of the pharmacy school at Tsinghua University in Beijing, said that some companies were adopting unconventional methods in the preclinical research stage, running tasks like the design process and animal modeling at the same time when they should be done consecutively, according to the People's Daily, the Chinese Communist Party's official newspaper. I understand the people's eager anticipation of a vaccine, Dr. Ding was quoted as saying, but from a scientific point of view, no matter how anxious we are, we cannot lower our standards.